It's the red button.
Thank you.
Don't worry, we're not going to sing. I assure you of that. I just want to take a couple minutes for stewardship. And first of all, I want to thank Blanca, who has just gone to extremes to get this presentation done, as well as Kitty Matlock for our help with figures. Here's what we're going to cover today. We'll have some graphics that come up in a second. What have we accomplished? What does it take to run our church? And where are we financially as a church today?
So accomplishments. Since we've been active in this church, we've been successful as a congregation in being able to pay off our debt. In 2010, we had $309,000 in debt. In 2011, through Vision 2013, which was a program we put together, we were able to reduce the debt by $92,000. In 2012, we were successful in paying off the balance of that debt. Succession from PCUSA denomination to PCO. We now own our property. We've successfully grown our congregation year over year. The average attendance is now up 252% since 2000. The administration expenses of our church are as follows. We have payroll, legal, ECO, accounting, which accounts for $247,000 of our budget. And in that total amount, there is a set aside of $71,000 for an associate pastor. And that is currently under the process of interviewing for that position. In addition to that, we have property expenses, utilities, repairs, taxes, and insurance of $83,000. In addition, we need to look at to have a capital reserve fund for items like spalling underneath the church. We have found another large beam that needs to be repaired between $22,000, and then in addition, this church needs to be sealed and repainted, including the coral on the exterior facade in front of the church for those items of $14,000, excuse me. We have general operating expenses in addition, flowers, organs, postage, substitute ministry of $23,000. And we also have, in addition to that, missions of $6,000. So, where are we today? 2013, we had total contributions of $306,000, and we had a total budget of $297,000. Again, that's the first time ever since we've attended this church that we had a surplus. Amazing. Thank you. This amount did not include donations made to specific missions and outreach. Sunday school teachers are still buying their own supplies. The praise band purchases their own equipment still. So where are we today? In 2008, with 60 average for worship, giving was $117,000, which was $1,950 per attendee that year. In 2013, we had 209 as an average for worship. Giving was $306,000, and the average was $1,467 per attendee. So where are we going today? The annual commitment to operating the church. In 2014, we estimate that we will need $359,000 to operate this church, or $30,000 a month. In 2013, it was $297,000. Since we have a seasonal congregation, we need to raise $9,050 per week for the period of November through April. And since we usually get $4,725 per week, May through October. Those are statistical numbers, but those are the numbers that we have to use as a budget guide. We also need to build a reserve of at least $120,000, which is a designated fund. Currently, we have $14,000 in that fund, and I've already given you two items that far exceed what we need to do those items as well. So in addition to that, I wanted to share today, our church has 27 pledged families to this church with $106,000 in the form of pledges. The next slide just gives a breakdown of contributions by families, individuals. Of that, there's a total of 297 people who did make contributions to this church last year. So take this mic away from you, but not quite. I first want to say to all of you, those who are visiting us for the first time today, you are wonderful people. We'd love to have you at this worship. And 5 years ago, last Saturday, was the first time I ever crawled around this church and started really looking at the problems that we've had with the physical facility. But I met so many wonderful people that day. This has been our church home. And then Dustin told me I only had a short minute. There he is back there. So he went, better listen on time up. I know, I told me I had 5 minutes, so my time is up. But I want to point out to you that this church has been successful because of all of you, and your contributions may not be in the form of actual dollars, but you give time, hundreds of hours that you can do things that I can't do. This is why this church is successful.
So next, we want to think about tithing, so we have a true expectation of our income. And we have our little pledge sheets that are in your programs. If you could get these in by mid-March, it would really be appreciated. Of course, the information is confidential, and the offering envelopes are in the back of the pews. Financial statements will be issued for tax purposes. So we're asking every person and every household of our fellowship to take the next step in their faith journey of stewardship. This year we're asking people to grow 1 step or 1 percentage point in their weekly giving pattern. While this may be difficult for some who have recently lost income or a job, we know that a majority of our fellowship is in a position to respond to this challenge, and we know that the Lord will honor our faithful efforts. We believe that the Lord will continue to provide for our ministry at the Kirk of the Keys, and we humble ourselves and pray and seek His face. We will continue to reach out in our ministry and mission to bless our community, both young and old, with the love of Christ, to help the poor here and around the world, to care for the sick and infirmed, and to comfort the afflicted. But your help and participation is essential to what the Lord is doing in and through our ministry. Will you join us in this exciting adventure of growing up into Christ? May the Lord bless you richly. And I just want to reiterate what David said. You know, we're not just looking at your treasures, but also your time and your energy, your talents. And one last comment, the pledging part of this campaign is totally between you and God. So I hope you'll all pray about it, and we thank you very much for listening.